Goals, February, the year, everything. Just going live with you to talk about how I'm setting my goals for February. So I recently did a YouTube video just kind of talking about the system that I use to set goals for the year. I call them sticky goals, meaning I stick to them and they stick to me, just so that I can ultimately reach my end goal. So I've got my big goals, and then each month I have my mini goals to get towards that end goal. I won't go into it too much here, but I shared the system that I use. It's called the Living Your Best Year Ever system, and it's basically like a big journal. It has like audio accompaniments, but actually I've been using these for a while. Look, I've been using these for some years, but and this is my this year's one. And it's funny just kind of going back and looking through as I was getting ready for this, looking at some of my previous years' journals and goals, and one of them I was looking in 2020 was to stop scrolling on social media just aimlessly. And it's funny because that's still in there this year. Like, social media's gotten even more, using it for work and using it for social, so using it even more, so I have to have that reminder in there. But yeah, so I use the Best Year Ever system. I talk a bit about it in the video. I will actually put a link to the video there so I can share a bit about that for you there. But yeah, definitely check it out because I have been using it for a while and I really like it. It's a really good way to just it has you flesh out everything. So it starts at the high level of looking at the whole year and the whole big picture, and then how you break it down into pieces so that you can actually achieve it and hit your goals. And so for me, I spent some time right at the start this year thinking about what my goals would be for this year. And honestly, for me to have my best year ever, I own a business, right? If you don't know me, I own the Gift Tailor, which is a corporate gifting service. And as much as, I've been working on growing that and whatnot, I think what will make this a great year for me, or the best year for me, is to actually hit my goal weight, because that's something I've been kind of struggling with, my weight, and trying to lose it and maintain it for years and years ad nauseum. And I feel like every year I put a weight loss goal in there, and last year was one year where I actually lost a big amount of weight. Like, I really just put my mind to it, and I've kept it off. Except I did a quick weigh-in this morning. I think I've gained a pound since I lost weight back in May. But that's also because I haven't been moving much or eating well lately. I've been having foot problems, y'all. Like, I literally was limping and I couldn't walk, and I've been like that for a few weeks. So finally it's better, and I got to go to the gym today and go to hip hop step class, which I love. So yeah, but back to goals. So basically, this system recommends you don't set any more than 3 goals, and it can be in any area of your life. So for me, it's physical, it's weight, right? But I've got business goals in there. You can have spiritual, family, relationship goals, all those areas of your life that kind of comprise you. But again, for me, many years my goals have been around the business and growing the business and creating generational wealth for my kids. But what about the generational health? Like, I've developed bad habits and I'm worried about passing on to my kids, and fortunately they're very sporty, but I wasn't a kid that had a weight problem. Like, I was a skinny kid. So it's those habits kind of catch up with you as you get older, and I don't want to set that precedent because my parents aren't that way. So it's kind of more lifestyle why I find myself in this position. So for me, for this to be my best year ever, I'd meet my goal weight. For me, my goal weight is 150 pounds, and where I currently stand at the moment is now officially 71 pounds off of that. And I'm being pretty ambitious. I want to hit that goal by the end of July and then maintain it for the rest of the year, but we'll see. But definitely I want to, if it gets delayed to the end of the year, so be it. But I've kind of been a bit aggressive because that's just the way I am. I'm that person who will do their homework the night before, or even while walking into class. So I kind of have to escalate, bring the goal forward, accelerate the goal, because I probably will still be there in October working on it. But no, I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm not having that. So my goal weight is 150, and that's 70 pounds there. So how the system works is that, every week I check in and I look at like my goals for the year. So I have like my headline goals, which like I said is I've got my business one, and then I've got my goal weight of 150, weighing 150 pounds. And then for the quarter, I set a goal for the quarter. So like for this first quarter of the year, I said I want to weigh 185. And then for the month, it's to lose 20 pounds, which unfortunately I went in the opposite direction and gained a pound. But basically I'm just like, okay, I didn't hit that in January, so I'm just rolling it over. So the goal for this month again in February for me is to lose 20 pounds. So then what you do in this book is that you take kind of like your big goal, and I don't know how you can see, you take like your big goal and then you put down what are the primary actions that you can do this week, like your headline actions that you can do this week or what are your headline goals overall to help you get there. So for me, I've got two, and then you categorize those A, B, C. So I've got two main goals, which is I need to prep my meals ahead of time and know what I'm eating, not even prep, but plan ahead, and then prep ahead. So maybe I didn't write that down right, but I need to know what I'm eating so things don't go awry and I don't end up taking the easy option, which usually comes ready made in a bag, right? So that's one of my primary goals. And the other one is I want to drink more water. Like I really struggle. I live in Texas, so in the summertime it's absolutely fine, like I'm like guzzling the stuff, but it's really hard to drink water. And so I've set a goal and I'm measuring it, which is the next part of this. But when I started measuring it, I'm like, I am really, really struggling. So those are my two main goals. And then my next two, which I've given like a B level of priority, is to monitor the food I eat, because, to lose weight, calories in have to be less than the calories burned, right? So that's one of my goals, is to monitor that. And then the other one is to start moving again, because like I said, I wasn't able to exercise. And if you've got to burn more than you eat, then a way to help that along is to get moving to burn, right? And I wasn't able to do that because I wasn't able to walk. So my leg is finally feeling better, so that's one of my goals, to move again. Then once you kind of got that set for what you're going to work on, there's this bit called the weekly rhythm register. It's a chart, and you can probably just do this in a spreadsheet yourself. Just down the first column, just list out a couple of actions you're going to do this week that put you towards your goal. So for me, one of my primary goals, right, is to drink more water. So I've set it pretty low. I've set it at 50 ounces. I think for my weight, they say it's usually like half your body weight in ounces. So I should be drinking somewhere around about the 100 mark. But like I said, I've been trying to do 50, and last week I tried to do it every day, and I only did it 3 days. So I literally put it as an action, and then you put down your goal. It has the 7 days of the week, and then you put how many days of the week you want to do that one thing. Most of these for me, it's pretty much it's lifestyle. So for me, a lot of these are 7 days a week, except for exercise, because my aim for that is like 3 days a week. At the end of each day, you look back and you're like, did you drink enough water? And you check it off for that day. And then at the end of the week, you just kind of you look at your goal, 7 days, 3 days, whatever it was, and then you add up how many times you did it. And then another column, there's a column for how many days you achieved that action, and another column for if you're in net or if you actually hit your goal. Yay. So the steps I'm taking this month towards my weight goal are the 50 ounces of water. I said my other priority goal was to meal plan ahead. So that's going to be like a once a week, because I just have to sit down with my meal, and I literally do have a meal planning calendar. And I was doing that even before the weight loss, just because it, for cooking for a family, it makes it cheaper, it makes it easier to just know what you're doing, just to have that routine. So I'll kind of plan out my calendar. So that would only be a goal for like once for me. Meal prep, on the other hand, might be like twice in the week, like I'll batch it into 2, or I may make something that just do everything and just have it last all week. Then my other thing is start moving again. So for me, I want to do at least 35 minutes of exercise 3 times a week. So that will be another one of my action steps. And then one of my other priorities was to monitor my food intake. So I use an app, like I have my Fitbit. So however I exercise, that will pick it up. I mean, I'm using a time measurement, right? Because I'm saying 35 minutes, but like I was looking in one of my old best year ever journals, and I used to have step goals, like especially, probably should bring that back in actually, because I still sit a lot. But back when I used to work in an office and I used to sit all day and I just used to take the elevator down, get my car out the parking lot, like I'd struggle to get to 3,000-4,000 steps a day, seriously. So I'd have step goals in my best year ever. So I use an app to monitor my food intake. So another action is for me to fill out the Fitness Pal with all the food that I ate. Let me tell you what other action points I've got. Fill out the Fitness Pal, drink the water. It's all about what's going in. Move 3 times this week for 35 minutes. And I'm really excited because my hip hop step teacher just told me they're adding another class, which extreme burn, which doesn't have the steps, so at least there's not all that coordination to deal with. So move 3 times a week, 35 minutes, and then create a 500 calorie deficit. So basically, because I'm using these different apps, when I sync them, it will tell me if I've got a calorie deficit, or if I've equaled out, or if I've consumed more than I've burned. So these are all steps that I've got. They're all, apart from moving, they're all 7 days a week. And then another step I add in, because I really want to keep on track of this, what gets measured gets managed, you know. So to stay on top of that, I also just have steps for literally reviewing my rhythm register in the morning, so I know at the start of the day what I need to be doing, and then reviewing it again at the night, because again, I've got more than one goal. So I also have like some of my business goals on here. I actually just have a printout of another one to have to break my business goals down into more detail, and then just carry through a few key ones, because like this is kind of like all of me, business, fit, you know, losing weight and whatnot. That's all me. So why not have, you know, everything kind of in here on one page. So I can drop a link for this, the best year ever, where you can get one. I really suggest I'd recommend it. Like when I started doing it back in 2012, and actually that's the other thing that I'm thinking as well, is like, I know we're at February and you're like, oh, what's the point in me kind of looking at my goals, or now we're already partway through the year, or even if you end up watching this later than February. But look, when I started using this system and measuring things in this much detail, I think I found it in like a magazine article, maybe 3-4 months into the year. But I was just like, yeah, I like this idea of framing your goals. Like, if I hit this is going to make this a great year. This is going to make this the best year so far. I'd say, you know, to get one back then, he used to provide the sheets, and I think you could just download them for free. Now there's like, you know, the whole system, the whole journal, the audio stuff, so he charges for it, and I can't knock that. You know, if you sat there, spent all the work making this structure, then, you know, absolutely, it's really valuable. It's like 60, is it 60 or 50? It might be 60 with the shipping, but yeah, $60 for the whole thing. So like, I don't do maths, $6, $7, $8 a month. I think it's well worth it. I'm going to send you, I'm going to put the link in the comments for you to get that. Or like I said, if you want to just make your own one on an Excel spreadsheet, but I just like having the journal. I just keep it by my bed, so it reminds me to check it first thing in the morning, last thing at night. So that's my goals. I'll check back in at the end of the month and let you know how it's all going. But yeah, I want to hear your goals too, so I can cheer you on. Like, we're on Facebook. Like, for the most part, it probably means we know each other if you see this. So, you know, the first time I lost weight, I was like in a group with strangers, and that was kind of my accountability crew. And it helps. It definitely helps to have somebody that you can be like, yeah, I did this little thing today. You know, like when you go to the gym for twice in a week, you're like, yes, I think the Olympics are ready for me. They are calling. There was a gold medal with my name on it somewhere. So it's nice to be able to kind of share that with people, and you know, just for somebody to tell you to keep going, or don't worry about it, or tweak it like this instead. So I want to hear what goals you're working on, especially if it's a weight one, because obviously then we're, you know, working on the same thing. But even if it's a money goal or a relationship one, let me know. I want to hear from you. All right, and I'm going to drop the link to this. Like, I really recommend getting the journal and the best year ever system. Just to not have to think about making your own structure or whatnot. So yeah, good luck with the goals and keep me posted. I'll do the same. Bye.